The duty of care. The duty of care on occupiers of property and businesses who run businesses involving interfaces with the public, and not only businesses, authorities such as the local council, government authorities. They all owe a duty of care to take safety precautions. Have a look on the right is a photograph of the sign at Bondi Beach. It's a bit of a complex sign, but it's complex because it needs to comply with the law of duty of care, the law of negligence. You can see there's yellow icons in the top row, which are the important warnings that they give the public. There's a warning that waves could be a risk you're taking. There's a warning against dangerous water. In the middle is some advice, such as on the right-hand side, swim between the flags. And down the bottom is the 9 activities which are prohibited on the beach, including smoking, drinking, cycling, and various other activities which are either dangerous to the person or dangerous to other people using the beach. The law that governs this is the Civil Liability Law, and it applies throughout the state, it applies throughout Australia. In fact, it applies overseas, but different civil liability laws apply overseas. The Civil Liability Law says that a person is in breach of their duty of care to the public and to their employees if they fail to take precautions against a risk of harm which is foreseeable and significant, and the precautions which a reasonable person would take. So the courts have said a reasonable person standing in the shoes of the council which governs Bondi Beach would give all those warnings. And they're called safety precautions. And the warnings could be in a variety of form, and there are other safety precautions. I've listed 6 safety precautions which every business should consider when they're dealing with employees and the public. Number 1, warning signs. They should be prominent, preferably with icons. Icons are those square badges diagonally placed, or the round graphics with the cross across them. There should be terms and conditions of entry if it's an event or public place. There should be supervision, security, surveillance, particularly CCTV monitoring. The premises should be kept safe. If something is spilled, someone should be there to mop the wet floor within 15 minutes. Stairs with handrails, good lighting, and fire compliance. Now, fire compliance is an annual thing where every building, every place has to be certified annually for fire compliance. There should be barriers to prevent access to unsafe areas. You've often seen those plastic strip things they put up for temporary barriers for unsafe pavements, unsafe areas. And there could be audio warnings. Every time you board a vessel, there'll be a warning. Sometimes in particularly sporting events, but certainly other events, there'll be an audio warning before the event starts or during the event. Now, public authorities, building and venue operators must have a safety management plan. Well, the safety management plan is essentially a sheet which ticks off those 6 safety precautions and describes what the occupier is doing to comply with the safety precautions. Now, where you have an activity, you need greater precautions. So if it's a dangerous recreational activity, you need to have greater precautions and even a liability waiver. So what are dangerous recreational activities? Well, we've already seen hot air ballooning, joy flights, parachuting, scuba diving, horse riding, motorcycling, a lot of boating activities, and definitely rides at theme parks. To cover themselves, the operator should have a liability waiver.